We're in a nature crisis. Habitat and species loss and a general disconnection from nature are having a huge impact on the planet and on us, mentally, physically and socially. But there is hope in the movement to restore the natural world and our connection to it. At Cambrian Wildwood, we're making a positive difference to the environment and to the communities who are linked to the project. We're in the Cambrian mountains of mid-Wales. The site covers 300 acres of moorland dominated by purple moorgrass and around 20 acres of ancient Celtic rainforest. Before we acquired the land in 2017, it hadn't been grazed for about 6 years, and the largely treeless landscape was ecologically impoverished. So the prospect of restoring an abundance of wildlife to a landscape that people can immerse themselves in is hugely exciting. Our overriding principles for land management are based on minimal intervention, but even so, we've carried out some initial restoration work. All internal fencing has been removed. We've planted 2,000 native trees and will plant many more across the site using no-fence planting methods. We use steep ground or the cover of vegetation to plant trees out of reach or out of sight of the herbivores. Drainage ditches have been blocked, temporarily creating about 1,100 small ponds. Over time, the purple moorgrass will revert to blanket bog in the wet areas. We've also introduced wild horses. These are conics, probably the nearest breed to the primitive horse, which became extinct about 100 years ago. Their grazing is restoring areas to heathland and meadows. Now, we're eager to see where nature leads us. It's also important that schools and local communities get involved.
We run some inspiring educational programmes for primary and secondary ages, on site and in school, and local primary schools are taking part in 3-year-long projects, working with the same pupils as they progress through school. The children have collected acorns to sow in school, returning to plant their nurtured oak seedlings here. They've also learnt bushcraft skills like foraging for food and building campfires. Seeing the children splashing in streams, building dams, climbing trees and hunting for nature's treasures such as blackberries and autumn leaves is a real joy. And over 3 years, you can see how they're building a strong connection with nature. Now here's a question. How many teenagers would spend a week without their mobile phone? We offer 6 youth camps each year. On each camp, 10 secondary school pupils spend a week wild camping here at the Wildwood. These are usually teenagers who have difficulties accessing education. We show them the landscape and take them river trekking or maybe wild swimming. They learn about wild food and cook a fresh trout on the campfire. Everyone relaxes into their new surroundings. Soon they're sitting round the campfire, telling stories and creating their own tribe. One night is spent sleeping out under the stars. It's a fantastic experience for them and lovely to see them forging new friendships. And of course, they're also forging links with nature.
In every walk with nature, one receives far more than he seeks.
These are the words of naturalist John Muir, and they're a perfect explanation of why we're focused on enabling as many people as possible to walk with nature at the Wildwood.
We've created walking trails and bridleways which are open to the public. They're a great way of exploring the site. We organise monthly volunteer days when people come from all around to learn new skills and be part of the project. We've planted trees, removed fencing, created trails and helped to build a compost toilet, and a shed for storage and workshop space. The natural building materials, the round shape and the green roof help the shed to blend in with the landscape. And of course, this is all having a positive impact on the environment. And we're already beginning to see the changes. The ponds have attracted dragonflies. Skylark have returned to the moorland, and snipe are now seen regularly.
We've also spotted merlin, grasshopper warbler and hen harrier. And we're hearing the call of the curlew. Heather, bilberry and sphagnum moss are increasing, and wildflowers are appearing in the grazed areas.
So, what's next for Cambrian Wildwood? We will continue the school's activities, and we're planning wellbeing activities and camps for vulnerable adults. And we hope to add further youth camps in a long-term programme, as well as events for the public. And we are studying the possibility of restoring missing native animals, such as red squirrel, water vole and mountain hare. We also hope to increase the land area of the wildwood. With more diversity of habitat, wildlife is returning and creating a more abundant landscape.